If you don't know us by now, Elliot Serrano, Jose Melendez, Dreamland Comics in Schaumburg, Illinois. We talk about comics. And what we're going to talk about now, a couple more DC books. We've been doing a lot of Marvel, so let's look at DC. Everyone's been really talking about how much they love the Green Lanterns Rage of the Red Lanterns, and Jeff Johns is one of the top writers on DC right now, and I love his stuff. But Jose, you gave me a copy of this Green Lantern, and I'm telling I was completely lost. And I have not been keeping up with the Green Lantern books. I thought, I'll give it a shot trying to read, a couple of these Red Lantern event books, and I know they had the Sinestro Corps War, and last year, and then now we're getting this Red Lanterns. Now we have how many friggin' different colors?
I think there's gonna be 8 total.
8 colors of lantern rings.
Right.
I'm sorry, but I think the idea is kind of ridiculous.
I do too, and this is why. All right, I've been reading Green Lantern ever since Jeff Johns relaunched it. All right. And it's getting kind of ridiculous. Like the Sinestro Corps War, that was like a cool story. I like the fact that they didn't have a mini-series devoted to it. They had like some one-shots, but the main parts of the story went through Green Lantern Corps and Green Lantern. So it was a mini-series in the books, and I liked that, okay? So, and yeah, that was really cool and all to see Sinestro Corps and the Green Lantern Corps fighting each other. But then they laid the seeds for this new storyline where it's like, well, what can you possibly do to top the Green Lantern Corps fighting Sinestro Corps? How about we have 8 different corps all of a sudden? We'll just pull out our asses, and we'll have all of them fighting and teaming up and just have this huge operatic, space opera story. Oh, it's going to be great. Oh, man, I am getting so tired of Green Lantern at this point. Green Lantern Corps, I still like, even though, they dealt with the Star Sapphires in there, but Patrick Gleason is doing the art, and Patrick Gleason is awesome, and I can't believe that guy's been doing Green Lantern Corps for like almost 5 years now.
Wow.
But this Green Lantern man it's too much. It's like the Red Lanterns and the Yellow Lanterns, and then the next one's gonna be Agent Orange, because it'll be the Orange Lantern, but then like there's the Blue Lanterns, which have hope, and the Blue Lanterns can only use their rings when the Green Lanterns are around because they draw from their willpower, and it's like, what the fuck?
Right.
It's like, there's too much shit going on. And you know what? On top of that, I didn't like the fact that I had to wait 7 issues of Green Lantern last year for Jeff Johns to tell me the secret origin of Hal Jordan again in 7 issues, 7 months worth of stories, just so he can retrofit and shoehorn in stuff that alludes to the Red Lanterns in this whole Blackest Night thing that's coming up. So he just pretty much retold the origin of Hal Jordan meeting with Sinestro back when he was a Green Lantern, and like going through all that stuff, but then throwing in all this new stuff just because like, oh, we're gonna have this Darkest Night thing. Wouldn't it be cool if like we laid this like this has been going on for the entire continuity of DC Comics, and they wait 7 fucking months of Green Lantern to retell an origin just so you can have these bits and pieces in there? Oh God.
Yeah.
It's getting to be too much.
Well, it's just too bad because Green Lantern
was one of my favorite books. Green Lantern Corps is right now still one of my favorite books, just because Peter Tomasi's doing a good job on there. But and for new readers, if you picked it up, like you haven't read if you read this book, you don't know what the hell's going on.
I had no idea what was going on. I was lost. I was lost, and another thing that kind of drove me nuts. This is Green Lantern. This is his book. And you read the story, and he's just basically in the middle of the story, and people are doing shit to him. It's not like he's being proactive and doing something. People are infecting him with the Red Lantern, and then another
and then
green
he's a blue
thing,
lantern,
then he's a blue lantern, then he's this, and then he's that. And he's just sitting there the whole time going, what's going on? What's going on? What are you doing? What are you doing? And that, to me, is really does a disservice to the character.
It really does.
Which is, again, too bad because Green Lantern was one of those characters I know Jeff Johns really wanted to get Hal back in the costume, wearing the ring again, and make him the symbol of hope in the DC universe.
But doesn't it feel now that he's kind of done with his Hal Jordan kick? So now, Barry Allen's coming back. So I'm gonna focus all my attention on the Flash because Hal Jordan's already done. So in getting to the next issue, which we have, is Jeff Johns. I think is kind of losing his touch a little bit because Superman and Action Comics 6 months ago, if you were watching this. Those were the must
book.
be.
They were great.
For me.
Yes, I was
like Gary
loving
Frank
it.
doing
Yeah.
the art on Action, and then James Robinson writing Superman and Jeff Johns writing Action. I mean, those books were solid. And then you know when it fell apart? New Krypton.
You're absolutely right. It just got needlessly complicated. You started introducing all these other characters.
Too convoluted.
You're like, what? And it was an ending that we saw coming a mile away.
Well, we even talked about what the ending was going to be like 4 months before it even happened.
And the thing that kind of really, and I have a lot of respect for Jeff Johns again and James Robinson, two of my favorite writers. But why do Kryptonians always have to be portrayed as these, kind of self-important, haughty? They always look down on Earth beings. They always think that the Kryptonian way is the best way of life, even though, their way of life led to their own destruction. Wouldn't it have been a change of pace if the Kryptonians came in and said, you know what, let's learn to live in peace with Earth people as opposed to, take over? No, it's always, Kryptonians are always played that way as if Superman is the only Kryptonian who could have ever gone on to be a compassionate being. I don't know why they have to go that way when it seems so cliched. Every story, whenever you met Kryptonians, other than Superman, okay, that's always what happens. These Kryptonians come back and they end up being, more than Superman can handle. Which again, we saw coming a mile away. Bad idea having 100,000 Kryptonians on Earth, but
And the other thing about these Superman books is, now Gary Frank is not doing it because what's Gary Frank going to be doing? He's going to be doing Jeff Johns another fucking origin for Superman. Yeah. We need. What is that, 6 issues at least? 12, maybe 12 issues? Do we really need another 6 fucking issue miniseries to retell the origin of Superman?
Yeah. Well, that's a thing where Jeff Johns, maybe Jeff Johns has become the Bendis of the DCU. He gets to do what he wants to do, and Dan DiDio loves him. Jeff Johns does have, he has part of it is he's a consultant as far as editorially. All the creative decisions that are done in the DCU are run through him. He gives that oversight. So maybe it's a case where maybe Jeff Johns needs to be reined in a little bit too.
Maybe because so this new Krypton thing, it started off all right, but then you had to read like Supergirl to get major part of stories, and that book is kind of awful because they just for some reason they just can't figure out what to do. They
cannot figure out what to do with Supergirl.
And to read that character is just so there's nothing interesting there.
Right.
So
Supergirl should
they're replacing the artists on Superman and Action Comics with these fill-in artists, and the art is pretty terrible.
Yeah.
And then Greg Rucka's going to come on, and he's taking over Action, so Jeff Johns isn't even going to be doing Action. Greg Rucka is fine, okay? But it's just not... For me, it's like... I don't even care anymore to buy this. It's the same thing with... It's Green Lantern, too convoluted. Now Superman's getting too convoluted. And then, it's just all... I used to like Batman a lot, and then DC just killed my interest in that character last year.
You know who's going to write it now?
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite writer ever.
But,
I'm talking about After Battle for the Cowl. You know who's taking over the Batman books?
Well, there's one... Well, Grant Morrison's going to be doing a Batman book.
Oh, you know who else is doing a Batman book?
Probably. I don't know.
Judd Winnick.
You know what? Judd Winnick gets a lot of shit dumped on him. And I don't mind Judd Winnick. Actually, I liked some of his stuff that he did on Batman with Doug Mahnke when they brought the Red Hood in, which was Jason Todd.
Ah, yeah.
See, I liked that, and I liked some of that Winnick Batman stuff. So he's kind of lost. He lost me with when they relaunched it, Green Arrow, and I don't really like Titans too much. Yeah. But
he lost me on Titans, and he definitely lost me in Green Lantern when he was writing Green Lantern.
Green Lantern or Green Arrow?
No, Green Lantern. Back during
back during it. Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. That's right. There was a whole big. Yeah. That's when he started at DC. But I liked his Batman stuff. So if he's coming back to do Batman, just because he wrote that really good Jason Todd stuff, and Jason Todd's going to be kind of in the mix if he's doing Jason Todd, that'd be fine.
Okay.
But I don't know. So DC's killed their interest in Batman for me. They've not killing their interest in Green Lantern for me. They've killed their interest in Superman for me. It's like, and Wonder Woman is almost there, where I'm almost just done with it.
Yeah, but Gail Simone's still writing it.
Yeah, I know, but the art is, I don't like the art at all.
No.
But in some of the Gail Simone stuff is very hit or miss. So far on it. But I don't know, I'm almost done. They got to get me the next couple issues.
Gail Simone's got to get over her obsession for monkeys. She has a monkey obsession.
Actually, I don't mind the gorillas in that Wonder Woman book. Actually, I kind of like them in that. But.
All right. Okay, folks. We will see you in the next segment with Last Rants.